We're always looking for performance artists here in the city of Deltona, and we found a great one right here under our nose, working with the city, Gene Gizzi, coming up next here on Solo Notes.
Starry night, picture palette blue and gray. Look out on a summer's day, with eyes that know the darkness in my soul. Shadows on the hill, sketch of trees and daffodils, catch a breeze and winter chills, in colors on the snowy living land. Now I understand what you try to say to me, how you suffered for your sanity, how you tried to set them free. They would not listen, they did not know how. Perhaps they'll listen now. Starry, starry night, flaming clouds that brightly blaze, swirling clouds in violet haze, reflecting Vincent's eyes of china blue, colors changing hue, morning fields of amber gray, where their faces find in pain are stood beneath the artist's loving hand. Now I understand what you try to say to me, how you suffered for your sanity, how you tried to set them free. Would not listen, they did not know how. Perhaps they'll listen now. For they could not love you, still your love was true. And when no hope was left inside on that starry, starry night, you took your life as lovers often do. But I could have told you, Vincent, this world was never meant for one as beautiful as you. Starry, starry night, portraits hung in empty halls, frameless names on nameless walls, with eyes that watch the world and can't forget, like strangers that you've met. Ragged men in ragged clothes, a silver thorn, a bloody rose, lies crushed and broken on the virgin soul. Now I think I know what you try to say to me, how you suffered for your sanity, how you tried to set them free. They were not listening, they're not listening still. Perhaps they never will.
Welcome to Solo Notes. I'm Eric Alexander, your host, and I'm sitting here today with Mr. Gene Gizzi, who works with the city of Deltona as the liaison or the agent for the insurance services for the city of.
Yes.
All right, welcome. Thank you for being here,
you,
Gene.
Eric. I
Appreciate
appreciate
it.
it.
Thank you for performing. Now that first song that you just did, why don't you? I know it's fairly familiar with a lot of us folks, at least our age. And tell me about the name of that and who did that, real quick.
The name of the song is Vincent by Don McLean, and most people know the song as Starry, Starry Night.
That's right. Yeah, the first line.
Yeah.
Now, who prompted you to do that song tonight?
Well, thank you for asking, because truly I struggled on which songs I was going to play when you pick 3 songs. And my wife said, Gene, you really need to do Vincent. In fact, I think she calls it Starry, Starry Night. So, and she said, you really need to do that. And I said, well, okay.
One of her favorites, huh?
It's one of her favorites.
Yeah. Well, you did a beautiful job on it, and we appreciate that. And all of this great equipment you have. I don't know if we start with the small PA. I guess you have this Bose system, and we don't have to get into a lot of detail about it, but you use this for performing, right?
Yes.
You're solo. You do a solo gig. Are you still doing solo gigs in the area?
Well, I'm coming into my heavy lifting season in my insurance brokerage, so I don't have a regular rotating gig at any of the local places, but I'll take maybe one a month, something like that. But yeah, this system is compact. It really puts out great sound. This is my entire mixer right here, so it's all a soloist. I could do duos with this setup too. Pretty much all I need.
Yeah, you have. You also have a box down here at your footstep here. That why don't you tell the folks about that a little bit?
Well, sure. This is a Digitech Vocalist, a live harmony. It's a foot pedal that when I'm singing, I could program it and just hit the buttons and create 2, 3, and 4-part harmony, and when I need it. So it gives me a nice touch in all these, especially when I do Beatles songs. You got to have 3-part harmony in the Beatles songs.
That's amazing. Yeah.
So
it
fun.
adds. It's like having vocalists there with you, and you don't have to worry about them having sore throats either, do you?
They show up on time. They don't drink. Very
right.
true.
Well, that's an amazing device that a lot of soloists should look into. And now I want to ask you about your guitars. I know you are a multi-stringed instrument player, correct? Tell me, what all do you play besides, obviously, the guitars, and we'll talk about that in a second, but what else, other instruments?
I play the 12-string Taylor, and in a little bit later, we'll play the baritone guitar, and which is an 8-string. It's also a Taylor guitar. I play a hybrid. It's called a fusion sitar, which is the body of a guitar and the neck and the strings of a sitar. And maybe next time we do this, I'll bring something
Absolutely.
like that. I have a true vintage sitar, and I shouldn't claim to play it because I would call it more noodling than playing, especially in an Indian sense, an Eastern sense. But I use it in a Western modes,
Well, that's an interesting instrument, though. I mean, that's got to be a little bit totally different kind of fingering and tuning and everything, I would imagine, right?
Yeah, it's got 18 strings,
Oh my,
11
yeah.
underneath and 7 on top. Yeah, so
We'll look forward to seeing that as we hope to do another segment with you.
I
What about the baritone guitar? You mentioned that.
Baritone guitar is like a combination of a 6-string. It's as if a 6-string guitar is tuned down a whole fourth, so it's deep, it's rich. But then on this guitar, the 2 center strings are doubled, so you get a little bit of jangle like a 12-string in the middle. But the whole guitar is kind of dark sounding, when you
It has a rich sound.
Yeah. A very rich sound, and I'm looking to write some things, and I might do something a little bit later.
I know you do have a lot of originals, and you've recorded some things too. And I know tonight for this segment you picked some the copy tunes, a couple that are not always recognizable, which we're going to get into also. How long have you been playing?
Well, I've been playing since 1967.
Okay.
So that's been a lot of years since I'm 67. But my songwriting, let's put it this way, I've got a lot of half-written songs, segments, motifs, things that need to be put together when I have the time. And that's why I try to choose cover songs that were mostly off the beaten path.
Right.
hopefully.
Well, what's this next song you're going to do for us now?
This, we're talking about Traction in the Rain.
Right, I think so.
Traction in the Rain was a David Crosby song, and I think it came out around early 70s. I'm thinking 70, maybe 73, and it was a solo album. I think it was called I Wish I Could Remember My Name. I wish I could remember the album name, but it was a song that I used to do back in the day, and I just found that it adapted nice to the baritone guitar. So I created a track with mini harp, auto harp, and a 6-string guitar, and a vocal pad to give me
very
a little
nice.
bit of acoustic background, you know.
All right, well, that's terrific. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing that. I love David Crosby, anything from Crosby, Stills, and Nash, and Young, of course. So we're going to listen to that next song here on Solo Notes with Gene Gizzi.
It's hard enough, I know, to find the strength to go back to where it all began. And it's hard enough to gain any traction in the rain. You know it's hard to understand how to find a way, get through another city day, without thinking about getting out.
Welcome back to Solo Notes. I'm Eric Alexander, your host, and I'm sitting here with Gene Gizzi, Deltona resident and professional performer extraordinaire. Just got to doing this song by David Crosby. Very cool song. I hope everyone enjoyed my rain stick playing. My professional rain stick playing. That was a great, nice little addition to have.
Put it over the top.
Made the song. No, the song is fantastic. Now, I wanted to ask you about a couple of things. One, I wanted to ask you about you mentioned a gig you had in Africa that should be
Sure.
quite memorable from what I understand. Yeah.
You asked me what my most interesting gig was, and I have to say in 1969, I was in the Navy and put a band together. And we were actually on a peace tour. I was not in special services. I was a radarman. But we put a band together, and when we came into a fishing village in Africa where no one had shoes, but they knew who Wilson Pickett and James Brown were, and we played a concert, and I'm told that there were 20,000 people there. It was a 4 or 5 acre lot and trees all around it. The trees were full of people. It was just wall-to-wall people. It was the most amazing thing.
And you just did those good old songs, and they knew them.
We did songs we didn't even rehearse. We were just in the moment. It was really my all-time most memorable.
Wow, that's very unique. And, now you also do some work with the Boys and Girls Club.
Oh yeah, and my happy time is April and May because for about 6 weeks to 2 months, I travel around Volusia and Flagler County and meet with kids, sometimes 3 or 4 at a time, sometimes 7 or 8, and I teach them usually 2 or 3 songs that are on the radio now. And then we all meet at the Hilton Hotel for the big annual fundraising event, and the choir is 40 strong, and I get to direct it and sometimes play a little guitar or sometimes bring in a guest artist, but the kids steal the show. And 900 people and at the last event last June, last end of May, and we raised over $250,000 for the Boys and Girls Club. So I really enjoy teaching and working with the kids.
So that's coming up again this year.
That's coming up, and I don't have the date for you, but I will make sure you have the date. It's going to be, I believe, in late May.
Is that right? And so you play guitar with these kids, or how do you teach them? How do you
sometimes,
especially pop songs like you're talking about?
Yeah, sometimes a lot of the pop songs will not necessarily have acoustic guitar, but we did, for example, Imagine Dragons song last time and a Katy Perry song, and I will either make tracks in my studio or download tracks for the kids to use. So yeah, that's a lot of fun because I go to them with a lot of songs, and then they say no to this one, no to that one, and every once in a while they surprise me by pulling an old classic out. What do you like, this hip-hop version of Lean on Me or the old standard? And they'll go sometimes for the old classics.
Isn't that neat? What age group are you working with in that?
They're anywhere from maybe 7 years old to maybe 17. Yeah, it's a mixed bag of kids. It's a lot of fun.
Wow, that's amazing. And you've been doing that how long?
I think it's 18 years now, I'm told.
Really? 18 years you've been with
years,
these kids. Yeah. That's really great. I know that's appreciated for them. And now, this last song that you're going to do for us, we have a Mark Cohn song that you did. And there's a story behind that too, isn't there?
There is, and the reason I chose that was the first time I heard this song, I was so moved by it. And I didn't understand the backstory of that song until I looked it up, because Mark Cohn wrote this song about an American artist, Frederick Edwin Church, who founded the Hudson River School of Landscape Painters and built this beautiful mansion on the Hudson River on 125 acres up in New York, where he sketched during the summer and he painted during the winter. So Barbara and I want to go there. But then I heard the story, I said, no wonder I was moved by this song. It's about reality. It's about trading your art for security, and it's a beautiful and wonderful thing, So, yeah.
Wow. So, we appreciate you sharing that with us. I know we also taped an instrumental that we may get in this segment or get in the next segment of one that you wrote. or writing. Is that what it is?
It's a work in progress, but it's fun, and I think next time I see you, it'll probably be a little more exciting too. But yeah, I'll fool around. I'll noodle on the guitar a little bit.
Well, I appreciate it, Gene. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate taping with us, and we'll look forward to this next song. And we're going to try and do another segment with you real soon, also for a segment of Solo Notes. And I'm Eric Alexander. This is Gene Gizzi. Thank you all for watching, and this is Solo Notes.